Welcome back to another episode of the Glory Hunter Career Mode here on FC25, where last episode, at the end of it, we got a offer for Arsenal to switch our allegiance from Newcastle United over to Arsenal with half a season left to go to spend in England before we are forced to move to a different club. And in fact, actually no, because we technically can spend 3 seasons in England. Just can't be it can't be 3 seasons with the same club. So we could technically spend a year and a half at Arsenal if we really wanted to, or we spend a half season here and possibly move over somewhere else in the summer. Do we go to Arsenal is a real question. They currently sit second in the league. They are fighting. Well, they haven't fought yet in the FA Cup. They are in the Champions League, I believe. I think we are going to Arsenal. It's time to switch our allegiance over from Arsenal or from Newcastle to Arsenal. And Diego Simeone will now move to a different Premier League club. And let's go ahead and meet the squad of Arsenal that is fighting for the Premier League title. And so, here is the squad here. At striker, it's Openda. At left wing, it is Martinelli. Bukayo Saka on the right. Martin Odegaard, Sambi Lokonga, and Yurdic in the midfield. Calafiori, Mosquera, Saliba, and Timber as a back line. David Raya in between the sticks here. Their bench is not that great, to be honest. Their reserves is not that great. I think that is something that definitely does need work in this January transfer window. I think the starting midfield needs some work as well. We have, 162 million. We're obviously going to go ahead and bring in Endrick because he has played the 15 games. He just has not yet to play the FA Cup game, and that's obviously not up to him quite yet. As far as obviously just standings goes, they sit second in the league. They are 2 points off top Chelsea's spot. We are obviously in the FA Cup where we have the round 3 fixture against Wigan. And then in the Champions League, they currently sit 24th in the Champions League. So a little shaky there in the Champions League game with 2 games left to go against Molde and OGC Nice. So some work to be done in this January transfer window. We first bring off Endrick to the club. And Endrick joins the club. We go ahead and bring in Esteban Ruiz. I totally forgot I was recording for a second. I thought this was personal for a second. We bring in Esteban Ruiz from Liverpool, a right back. We bring him for 62 million. He will be our starting right back, 83 overall. We just needed a right back desperately, so a lot of our budget has been spent on that. The next player that we are bringing in, somebody that is hopefully joining in the summer if it has been agreed on. We actually don't know if it's still being agreed on quite yet. But Zubimendi will hopefully be joining Arsenal in the summer. He's joining us now in this little window as well. He'll be our CDM, so that fits our midfield with Yurdic and Odegaard. Now we just kind of need a bench, and we got roughly 45 million to do so. Quick sim here against Nottingham Forest, 0-0. Ricardo Calafiori injured, out for 5 weeks. That just sums up him perfectly, to be completely honest. Our first game here, we are playing in the FA Cup instead of rotating it against a team that we could possibly rotate it against. Only one change from the default starting lineup, which was Calafiori, obviously a forced change because of his injury here. So it is Kivior who plays at left back in today's game. Zubimendi in the midfield, Odegaard and Yurdic as well in the midfield alongside Openda, Martinelli, and Bukayo Saka. And then our back four is obviously Kivior. We have, I completely forgot who my 2 center backs is. To be completely honest, I don't remember if it's Saliba. I don't think it is Saliba. It could be Saliba. I don't think it is though. Who is my center backs? It is Saliba. Saliba and Mosquera, and then Ruiz at right back, and obviously Daria at goalkeeper. And here we go, fresh look. Obviously, FA Cup. Endrick does have to play this game. He does not have to play 15 games for Arsenal this season. He only has to play 15 games in a season. And when coming to Arsenal, he was already at 25. So he's good there. He just needs to play in the FA Cup, whether it be today or next game, next round. We'll probably make sure it's today no matter what, though, just so it's done and over with. And then he can obviously chill out. He is going back to be a bench player. We do have Oyarzabal, who's also an option. Could be a striker and a winger just like Endrick, so duality in those departments. Little lackluster in midfield. We have Marino, who's 85 but 33 years old, and then we obviously have Lakonga and stuff like that. Bukayo Saka from distance. Martinelli, Martin Odegaard, into Luis Openda, and Luis Openda makes it 1-0 for Arsenal, scoring the first goal with life here at the club. And I don't know, what was that name? I don't know what that name was, but it was a great save by David Raya. Nonetheless, he shot it too quickly before I could say his name. Yurdic, intercepted. Gabriel Martinelli down the left-hand side. Gabriel Martinelli, Saka's wide open. Bukayo Saka on the volley makes it 2-0 for Arsenal. Couple of changes here. Endrick on at striker. Doms on at left wing. Diao on the right-hand side. Marino in the midfield. Timber at right back. Mosqueda into Doms. In for Odegaard. Martin Odegaard looking to slot Endrick. And the Brazilian. Endrick on his debut at a new club. Gets his form back underway. 3-0 for the Arsenal. Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard. Nobody wants to close him down, so he'll pop it. In Timber, Diao. Back to Mikel Merino. Into Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard. Great save by Tickle. Endrick might get there. Endrick does get there off target, though. And that is game over. Arsenal 3, Wigan Athletic 0. We move on to the next round of the Emirates FA Cup. When we come back next episode, I know it's a very short episode, but we will continue to fight and start to fight our FA or Premier League run here with our new club at Arsenal. We will also go ahead and play Manchester City. We'll wrap up the Champions League phase as well, where we will try and look to crawl back in a relatively decent position of the league phase. We are 7 points. How many is 8 on? 8 is on 11, so it's not looking good there for automatic. So we will have to go through playoffs for a Champions League. I will see y'all next episode. Leave a like, subscribe, and peace out.